It's time for another Friday night shave. And today, I was debating on whether to do this particular shave. Been throwing a lot of vintage razors at you, and just thought maybe it needed some variety. But once again, I came across a really special razor that again got a good deal. Like I say, there are good deals still out there, and this is really a beauty. Yeah, it's another Aristocrat, but this one is a British Aristocrat. This is the number 58 set. Now the number 58 set, they were like brought out in 1953, and it was the Coronation set. This isn't a Coronation set razor. The Coronation set was to commemorate the coronation of the Queen. This one is a 1956 dated number 53 set, and it came in the same red case. I don't have the case. I want to find a case, but I don't have a case. Had kind of a red leather like case. And the Coronation set has a crown stamped on it, and usually it says Coronation, but it's generally the same razor. This also came in two different versions. There was an aluminum handled version, and that was, I think, like 36 grams, whereas this razor weighs about double that, just a little over 32 grams. 10.5 ounces. It is a all brass with nickel plating. The distinctive element of the British made razors is just the construction quality. There may be some very, very minor differences. It's got the diamond back, whereas a lot of British razors have the more flat back, and those tend to be maybe a little bit heavier, mostly on the super speeds, what they call the rockets. There's some of the Aristocrats that have that flat back, like on the Gillette Adjustables, or similar to the Gillette Adjustables. This one is very great shape. The distinction of British razors is when you twist the handle and close, the bottom part has a screw mechanism. Very, very smooth opening and closing mechanism of most British razors. The reason why I decided to go ahead with this review of this razor is that when I looked on YouTube, there may be a few guys shaving with Aristocrats. I couldn't find any reviews online, video online, of the British Aristocrat, of any British Aristocrat. Maybe one, I can't remember, but they're just not that many. Also today I'm going to throw in, since I'm going to use this vintage razor, 1956, I'm going to use some Gillette stainless steel blades. Some of the first Gillette blades that were the stainless steel ones instead of the blue blades that were carbon steel. Now these blades probably vintage early 60s, maybe 63, 64, somewhere around in there, maybe a little bit later. I know I could look up the case, but I didn't. I've looked up the case, which I know it's kind of generally in that mid-60s range, but I can't remember. I'm going to use this blade. That's kind of what it looks like. I don't know if you can pick it up and notice it, but there's a little bit of discoloring on it. And vintage blades that were packed in these type of packages, they weren't wrapped. They're just in there. And what they did is they had a light oil on them. And what I found is that oil sometimes can discolor the blade a little bit. I just take some mild soap and scrub it with something like this, and just clean them up a little bit before I use them. And but I just wanted to, haven't tried this Gillette Stainless. I don't know if these have particularly got any coating on them or not. One of the things I notice whenever I put a blade in this is that that center post, the little round part in the middle, when you put the blade in, it doesn't fall down. You got to kind of push it down a little bit to get it to get in there right. Close it up. It doesn't have the quarter turn. You just snug it up. But in comparison to the U.S. made, this is a 1946-47, which again has a little bit different design. It has those tabs, and this weighs in at 66.6 ounces, 6 grams, 666. The devil's razor, I guess. No. 66.6 grams for the 46-47, and then the 47 or 48-50, which has the notch, that weighed in at 68.3 grams. So the British Aristocrats are generally a little bit heavier, and I think consequently the general consensus is that they're a little bit more aggressive shape. Now this isn't the heaviest of the British Aristocrats. I think the number 16 is the heaviest, and I can't remember how many grams, but it's, I think 70 something maybe. Maybe 80, I can't remember, but it's a few more grams than this, but not a whole lot. It's not like it's 100 grams. It's like maybe within 10 grams. We're going to see how this does. Get my lather going here. But the Gillette Aristocrats, one of the things is that the British division of Gillette was pretty much semi-autonomous from the U.S. branch of Gillette. And Mr. Cooper, you've maybe seen some Cooper razor fame. Well, Mr. Cooper headed the British division, and it enabled them to have some independence, some freedom to make some different style, not radically different, but to do some different things with Gillette razors that wasn't done for the U.S. market. And generally the European, British market, that really wanted that craftsmanship, quality, the Depper crust feel to their production. Whereas in the American market, it was more value, but more economic value, to where it was a lower priced razor and maybe not quite as ornate, not quite as fancy, but overall the Aristocrats, although produced for many, many years, 6, 7 decades overall of razors named Aristocrat, the Aristocrats are the creme de la creme, the top upper crust of razors, of Gillette razors, of razors in the vintage golden era. So, I wonder how this Gillette stainless steel blade, I don't think it says it's got any coatings on it. No mention of coatings anywhere on the packaging. I don't think this is a coated blade. I think it's just a straight stainless steel blade. So let's see how she does. Wonder how much edge. It's definitely not a feather or a Kai. We'll see by the time we get to the third pass how she's doing. No, not tuggy. It's not super sharp, I can tell that. I've shaved with this razor using a modern blade. I think I've used a Croma Diamant blade in it. Very, very superior shave. And depending on how it goes, I may have to switch to one. Definitely not as keen, not as sharp, verging on being tuggy. Yeah, I think we may have to switch blades here. Let's see about the second pass here. Using one of my favorite soaps today. Need a little bit of more water in here. And sadly, it's not being made anymore. Although they're still making soaps. This is St. Charles pipe tobacco. St. Charles makes some pretty nice scents in their soaps. And it was one of my absolute favorite pipe tobacco scents that I had, but they just stopped making it for some reason. Yeah, across the grain it's tuggy. Don't think, yeah. Let me just switch it out. Let me get another Croma Diamant. Yeah, it didn't really hold the edge, or if that was close to the edge of the Gillette blades back in the day, I can see why they were second, third to a lot of others once they went to the stainless steel, because it's just not really that sharp. But granted, 50 plus years down the road, if it's not a coated blade, it's not going to hold. Yeah, there you go. Croma Diamant's German-made blade. I'll show you the package. Right there, Croma Diamant. German-made. Relatively inexpensive blade. I find they were one of the first blades that I found that was a notch above in sharpness to compete with the feather. And I felt they were smoother. One of the things, though, is that maybe they don't quite hold their sharp edge as long. And I can get maybe 3 shaves, whereas a lot of blades I get, 4 and 5, 6. I think I've had a bunch of these. Oh, probably for a year or more. I think I bought 200 for ended up being like maybe $25 shipped, something like that. Like 19 something on Amazon. Like $5-6 shipping, something like that. Pretty good deal. And I used them until I found the Kai blade. They were more my go-to blades for quite a while. Those and Treat Platinum. Again, another inexpensive blade that a lot of people pass up and don't like. Don't know why. I think a lot of times our impressions of things are based upon what other people say about them and past experiences. Now there are some Treat blades that aren't the platinum blades that I've tried that I didn't particularly care for. So when you're looking at a new product, you kind of have to empty your mind. And try to experience the product for what it is. Now overall, I don't think I'll do that. No damn fine shave level. My camera just stopped again. And it's twice now that it's done that. And usually when I run out of minutes, it just cycles and turns off the recording. So I don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully, good old Samsung camera that's been dunked, that's been dropped. You know, I've gotten this camera totally and completely immersed in a sink, and I was able to dry it out, and it worked. It functioned. It came back. You know, it's been dropped. The lens, the eye that closes over the lens when it shuts up, every once in a while it'll hang up, and I've got to push it open a little bit. He'd been through a lot, so this is the best camera I've ever had, and as far as doing these types of videos, I know there's probably a lot better, but I don't want to lose my dear old Samsung. What was I saying? Some guys that are more highly sensitive to the aggressiveness of a razor, where just a little bit more aggressiveness is kind of over the top for them. Yeah, they could probably tell a difference between the American-made Aristocrats and this British-made Aristocrat. But if you ever get a chance to shave with one, if you ever get a chance to own one, I highly recommend them. The Gillette Stainless Blade, a nice conversation piece. Don't shave with them. They're not sharp. At least the one I experienced wasn't sharp. I think I'll just kind of stick on and hold onto these and not shave with them. Last thing I want to talk to you about. I've been using some of this stuff. Musgo Real Classic Scent Aftershave. Had my eye on this for quite a while, and it's up there in the little pricey range. I think it was like $25, which is far more than what I usually pay. It's got a lavender, spicy type of scent. Just, real nice classic scent. First thing I noticed with Musgo Real is the face feel. It's tacky. I think it's actually got some glycerin in it. It reminded me a lot of the Toha Lotion. Reminded me a lot of that in smell, in feel. A lot of lotion, aftershave lotions that have some glycerin and some other herbal things mixed in it. You get that tacky feel right after you apply it, but it goes away. This and to where later you feel your face and it slides. This doesn't. This dries and leaves I think a protective coating. So it's really nice stuff. It's not unpleasant tackiness, like it's pretty well dried now. It's just you've got a soft to the touch feel. Nice stuff. The next thing I got my eye on that I want to try is the Alt Innsbruck. But got to use up some of this stuff sitting here before I pull the trigger on too much more. I don't have space. I got to empty some stuff first. But really, the Musgo Real, particularly the classic scent, very, very nice stuff. Highly recommend it. Got some good stuff lined up coming down the road. waiting on a few things to come in. So I don't know what kind of the next rung will be, what I'll do next week. Kind of run out of razors so far that I haven't shaved with a lot. But it's warming up. It's spring-like. I'm not going to get the snow I wanted, I don't think. Although here in Oklahoma, surprisingly, the largest snowfalls occur in March and April. Back when I was a kid, one of the most dramatic snowfalls I remember was that I think I was 10 years old and went to school in the morning, and it was like 80 degrees. It was shorts weather. Started snowing through the day. The temperature dropped, started snowing by like about noon, and then by the time school was out, we were well on our way to having half a foot of snow. And I think they even let us out early. And then by the time it was all said and done, that evening we had 10 inches of snow. And we had no school the next day. So, it just changed that fast. Came in, came out, but then of course it warmed up later and the 10 inches was gone within a few days. So that's the heavy snowfalls that we get here in this part of the country. They come in, swoop out, and they're gone fast. I've rambled on. Until next time, have some good shaves. Work hard at being happy. Definitely be safe. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.